Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday evening to you and yours. Get to your side of the ring, Mr. Nate Wiggins. Oh, football is back in the air, baby. And it began with a vengeance today. It was day one of one. Ravens, Colts, joint practice from Baltimore. The first time each team gets a chance to hit somebody else that doesn't wear the same colors as they do on Sundays, Thursdays, and Mondays. That's right. We're a month and 2 days out from regular season football. Glad you can be with me here inside the channel. Please like the video on your way in. Subscribe, hit that notification bell. Consider becoming a channel member or gift-giving membership. And it's brought to you by my friends at Preston Automotive Group. So that's how we started today. We are 2.5 hours, 2 hours and 45 minutes out from the debut of Ravens collective. Jeff Zaribek of The Athletic, Cole Jackson of Road Graders, and myself, 8 o'clock, Ravens Collective. Please go subscribe, check it out. We got a lot to get to in the meantime, including this from today. And this is when we lean on our beat reporters, of course, like the Jeffs, like the Jonases, and so many others. As they summarized it, Jeff says, I was on the field with the Ravens offense versus the Colts defense today. Ravens offense made some plays, but wasn't sharp overall. Mark Andrews and Charlie Kohler had a few touchdowns between them. Ravens popped a few runs, but otherwise not a ton down the field. Jonas goes even deeper. Ravens first-string offense scored on almost every play early in red zone period. Zay Flowers an end around, Mark Andrews a catch, and Justice Hill a screen all found the end zone. But the offense fell into a rut afterward, a penalty. Stop me if you've heard that in recent weeks and really in recent years. Wiped out a run touchdown, and a blown block ruined a shot at the 4. So clearly this is the time of year where you got to clean up some rust, clean up some drag, and clean up what we know has been a long offseason of changes in personnel, even though the only starter that isn't returning from an offensive perspective is Patrick McCary, who left for the Jacksonville Jaguars in free agency, and now the projected starter is Andrew Voorhees. Other notes from Jameson and Jeff. Also talking about Lamar and this joint practice today. He stretched the field with throws to tight end Charlie Kohler and hit Mark Andrews twice for touchdowns in the red zone, but his day ended on a sour note. He threw a pick in a 2-minute drill. Jeff, teams getting a full field 2-minute drill at the end of practice. Lamar again threw an interception. He threw across his body in the middle of the field. It ended Baltimore's possession. The Colts then went on to miss a 50-plus yard field goal to end their possession. So again, is this cause for concern? Is this reason to kind of sound the alarm bells? It's freaking August 5th. It's the first time they've played somebody else, a different opponent. I'm air quoting played. Obviously, this was it's a dumbed down version of a game. A lot of this is for implementation. A lot of this is for trying to find a rhythm, camaraderie, and preseason prep. Ultimately, it's all about preparation. And I'm not necessarily going to sit here and tell you that it's the end of the world and in a joint practice if the Ravens offense wasn't firing on all cylinders. I'm not about to do that whatsoever. What was firing was apparently Nate Wiggins, because number 2 had himself a day. The bench is cleared at one point. A brawl breaks out. It was special teams in a punt drill. And it culminated with Nate Wiggins going fist to cuff. He threw multiple punches. He came off the sideline to get involved with this skirmish and was then booted from practice. So the second-year player, former first-rounder out of Clemson, who by all accounts had a really productive rookie year on the outside, can run with anybody, has a fearlessness and confidence clearly that oozes, couldn't help but get involved. John Harbaugh, not thrilled, but maybe a teaching moment.
Before, it's like we want to play it like it's a game. So here's an opportunity to handle those situations like you're going to handle them in a game. And we did 99% of the time, but we didn't on that play. It's like Shane and I were talking afterwards, and also Chris Ballard, we were both talking. It's always special teams. It always happens in these practices on special teams. And usually it's the gunners. The gunner vice drill, you can pretty much chalk it up and predict it that it's going to happen because it's one of those full field, really competitive drills. And, it happened. But it should be a learning experience opportunity for our team, too. You don't have to throw a punch to get thrown out of that game. If you go back at them, they may throw you out, and the officials threw both those guys out. So that's an opportunity for us to learn from.
John Harbaugh addressing today's joint practice fight at his press conference a short while ago. So there you have it. Bench is clear. It's inevitable, you would think, in joint practices. You got to know that going in. Nate Wiggins finds himself at the epicenter, throws punches. He's ejected, came off from the sideline to get involved. And Nnamdi Madubuike, I think he's wishing he was a little closer to the action.
No, I didn't see exactly what happened. Do you know what happened exactly? I heard Nate was slugging somebody or something. I don't know. But it was crazy. No, I didn't. I haven't even talked to him yet. I may have to say something to him. Like, hey, bro, something happened I missed out on. I wanted to get into it, man. But, no.
That boy Wiggins is slugging, according to Nnamdi Madubuike. Quote, I heard Nate was slugging somebody or something. I haven't even talked to him yet. I may have to say something to him like, hey, bro, did something happen I missed out on? I think Nate's a guy that you're probably going to want backup on. And I think Nnamdi Madubuike is just the man for the job. Are you kidding me? What about Lamar? QB1 better have stayed far away from that kind of skirmish.
Where are you? I'm chilling. I know the cameras be on all of us, so I can't really do too much, but I feel like our guys handle their own. Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what he would do if the cameras weren't on and he had a chance to get involved. Would Lamar get himself into the flow of things? More details on how this came to be from JMO. Ravens backup corner Keon Martin delivered a late push on a Colts player. When that player retaliated, Nate ran off the sideline and delivered several uppercuts. Both sidelines cleared. Goodness gracious. Here he is, the man himself. Missed the fight night.
After getting curb stomped today, give me your thoughts about what you saw happen and what went down. Kyle, what did you see?
He's protecting his teammate with some haymakers. He's a good guy, though.
We'll get you more information very soon.
Wiggins mean mugging him. He Bill Belichicked him there. He wanted absolutely nothing. And, of course, leave it to Marlon Humphrey probably a short while after being kicked out of practice and being involved in that. I'm going to stick a camera in your face, Nate, and ask you a bunch of questions. Tight-lipped goes Nate. Kyle Hamilton says he's looking out for his guy, sticking up for his teammate. And there you have it. Leave it to Marlon and Nnamdi. Listen, if I'm on this team and I decide to get my ass involved in some of that extracurriculars, I want Nnamdi Madubuike as a backup. Dude's an absolute piece of meat. Quote, I heard Nate was slugging somebody or something. I haven't even talked to him yet. I may have to say something to him like, hey, bro, did something happen that I missed out on? That is your beginning of Ravens joint practice content. And this is your episode sponsor. It's my friends at Preston Automotive Group. And you guys know, those of you who have been following the channel for a long time, first of all, you know the drill when it comes to sponsors and brand partnerships. They really make this channel go. You guys ultimately make it possible. The brand sponsorships make it go. And that's what Preston has aided me with. Support and belief over the last 2+ years, driving around in my Bobby Baltimore Bronco and getting great opportunities to partner up with Preston. And Baltimore, if you are looking, and really outside of Baltimore, for your next ride, check out Preston Automotive Group. With locations in Aberdeen and Randallstown and all across Delmarva, Preston has the selection and the deals to get you on the road today. Over 2,000 vehicles are what you have to choose from. Home delivery is available if you are not in the Baltimore area. Exclusive offers just for my listeners exist. It's $500 towards a new or pre-owned vehicle if you just mention my name at any one of their dealerships. Or you can buy 4 tires and receive 50% off your alignment. There's no better time to shop Preston. Cars cost less there. And whether you're in Baltimore, Aberdeen, Randallstown, or anywhere on the shore, there's a Preston dealership ready to take care of you. Ford, Hyundai, Nissan, Mazda, and more. Whatever you're looking for, Preston has a location near you. Click on the link that's included in the show notes. Click on the link that I have pinned in the live chat in the comment section and go learn more. It'll bring you right here. Here I am with my specials. Like I mentioned, that $500 credit that can go directly towards a newer pre-owned vehicle. Buy 4 tires, receive 50% off your alignment. You can contact them easily right here. Their chat messenger is right here. Easy to text. It's super simple. Here's Ellison. And then if you want to continue on and get into the weeds further, you can search by make, model, keyword, price, vehicle condition, year, make, location, so on and so forth. It's all throughout the Maryland area and beyond. I want to continue to say thank you to Preston Automotive for powering this channel, and thanks to all of you for being willing to listen. If you want to join the Bobby Baltimore Discord server, there's a lot of chatter back and forth about fight night, Nate Wiggins getting after the Colts, Charlie Kohler dominating today, and much more. Go check it out. That link is in the show notes. It's also pinned in the live chat. More on Nate Wiggins, because A.D. Mitchell, young wide receiver, talented, tall, rangy, and speedy, burned him, according to James Boyd of The Athletic. It was a deep ball during 11-on-11 work, and A.D. bested Nate Wiggins on that rep. Anthony Richardson threw it on the money. Mitchell readjusted to snatch it near the sideline and keep his feet in bounds. Incredible body control, according to James, in his opinion. And DeAndre Hopkins just tweeted out that he needs a barber in Bmore. Holla at me. So anybody that gets their lettuce chopped at a spot in the Baltimore area that you swear by, go tweet at DeAndre Hopkins because he's looking for a barber. But as for Nate Wiggins, I know a lot of you, or at least some of you, have expressed some concern with how often he's been, seemingly how often at least, from the outside looking in, he's been on the wrong side of some of these big-time plays this year. Well, all I got to say is I feel like Nate is refining his game, and it's the classic iron sharpens iron when you're going up against a future Hall of Famer in DeAndre Hopkins, who has a size advantage on you. When you're going up against the savvy route runner and the big play bait that Rashad has in him. When you're going up against the speedy, shifty Zay Flowers, who you can absolutely run with, but it's just time and time again, Nate Wiggins is getting good work. And so I'm not going to sit here and be concerned about a sophomore slump because of one rep against A.D. Mitchell where he gets burned and also start to make too much out of what's been a really difficult assignment so far to kick off this summer. If anything, Wiggins is going to feel like it's easier once he gets to the game based on the way that he's being tested throughout this early part of the summer. So again, I've seen some of your concerns. I'm not in on that. I don't share those concerns. Lamar was asked about his new look secondary, and take a look. Kyle, Cheeto, Wiggins, Marlon, Malachi, on paper, which of course is 'tis the season, on paper, looks pretty darn good. From Lamar's vantage point, quote, they make practice extremely competitive. It's a lot of first rounders in our secondary. Those guys are ball hawks. That from Lamar on his secondary. The one thing that sticks out about this group, one, no Jair Alexander, right? Because I think that Marlon is 44. So this is clearly missing Jair Alexander, who continues to show up and show out both on and off the field, hosting DB meetings at his house, intercepting Lamar twice over the weekend, right? Being that dynamic personality that I think a lot of us that have watched his career unfold throughout his time in Green Bay know that he brings that to the table. And he's wasted no time whatsoever doing exactly that in Baltimore. But the one thing that sticks out to me about this photo right here, if you add in Jair And you listen to what Zach Orr had to say earlier this week during his press conference when he was asked about number 3 CB, meaning the third cornerback, and the competition, the perceived competition between Jair and Cheeto. He's like, I don't see it as competition. They're both going to be playing, and they might both be playing on the field at the same time. Exhibit A for the flexibility that Zach Orr has been blessed with, given how many pieces, chess pieces, opportunities that he has to continue cultivating with such a deep and talented secondary. So that's the first thing that stands out to me. After that, doesn't Malachi look the part? I mean, I know Nate Wiggins is an undersized type player, and he makes up for it with, again, that press ability, the athleticism, the speed, the stride for stride ability. But look at the way Malachi Starks is built. That's a player that you want as your ball hawk on the back end alongside a perennial All-Pro in Kyle Hamilton. I know I'm just giving you an eye test, essentially, but this is an impressive group right here. And I'm very curious to see the differences, particularly when it comes to the pass defense, the underneath pass coverage, and what a stout and consistent and intact secondary can do for level 2, which obviously reared its ugly head throughout the first quarter of last year that led to the 31st or 32nd ranked pass defense. Saad Blitz comes in with a super chat, and he says, gotta say, I'm upset this practice didn't happen at McDaniel in Westminster, home of the Colts, from 49 to 72, and the Ravens from 96, the year of their inception, until the castle was built. You know, this is obviously before my time, Saad, but having started in Ravens radio and been under the tutelage of Keith Mills, longtime Baltimore personality and really an icon in this business, I learned through him just how iconic and storied the McDaniel practices were, and how much of a community event that was in Owings Mills, or wherever. Where is McDaniel, by the way? I always forget where McDaniel, what town is that in again? Is it Owings Mills? No, it's Westminster. Okay, and you have it right there in the super chat. I just have too much in my mind with how much content we have to get to. So appreciate you, Saad. Thanks for the love, man, and thank you for the super chat. If you guys haven't already done so on the way in, could you please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, hit that notification bell, consider becoming a channel member. I just rolled out that feature recently, and Shane is asking for the Ravens Collective YouTube channel, and I can't find it either when I search it for whatever reason. Maybe it's because we haven't populated a video yet. So Shane, go check it out in the live chat. I have the direct link where you can go subscribe right now. And I'll also just do quickly before we shift gears and talk about Charlie Kohler. This is what it looks like right here. This is the channel. There's literally only one post right now, 574 subscribers. Maybe at Ravens Collective. Maybe if you do that when you search YouTube, at Ravens Collective. But this is the specific link right here. And it brings you here. Myself, Jeff, Cole Jackson, coming up in 2.5 hours from right now. Here's the actual post itself. Cannot wait. And just know that the closer we get to 1,000, or I should say this, when we get to 1,000 subscriptions, we can monetize this thing. And maybe at some point we end up doing 2 shows a week if it goes in the right direction. Point is, watch hours and subscriptions early on is key metrics. Those are key metrics for monetization. We appreciate you guys. Would love for you to sub up. And let's get to one more super chat before we get back to the content. What up, not a fan? My friend Steve. What's up, brother? Just showing some love. Forehead looks good, bro. Thank you for complimenting my forehead. I can't even get after you because I saw a chat that you put in earlier. Don't think I didn't star this. I hope you don't mind me sharing it. Thank you for the super chat, but this is more important as far as I'm concerned. Steve writes, I've been away, but I'm back. My brother and sister-in-law were killed, and I've taken custody of my nieces. Things are getting better, but it's been a struggle for sure. Miss y'all. Bro, I have no idea what's going on, but I just want to send you my best. I want to send you my blessing. I want to send you all the strength in the world. The fact that you've taken custody of your nieces without knowing any bit or piece of what's taken place in your family is honorable. It's admirable, and I wish you the best. I hope you can continue to use our channels, both on the vault and here, as an outlet. And I got a lot of love for you, man. So please hang in there. Lean on us as much as you can. You can hit me up directly on social media if you'd like. If you want to DM back and forth, you know where to find me, whether it's Discord DMs, Instagram DMs or Twitter DMs. Heck, you can even email me. Maybe we'll hop on a call. So I'm praying for you, brother. I'm praying for you. And thank you for sharing this with us, because I can't imagine that was easy to do. Man, heavy stuff. Lamar was asked about Charlie Kolar and how he's been performing in Isaiah Likely's absence. Of course, Isaiah is just a couple days removed from that fractured foot procedure. And Lamar says, hey, awesome. Charlie's getting a great feel for the game. Looking like a little Mark and Isaiah out there in his own way. Here's what everybody, there needs to be a news flash, I think, on Charlie Kolar. Okay. Former 4th round pick. Okay. Let's refresh folks on Charlie Kolar. He was one of the many 4th round picks back in 2022 out of Iowa State. Okay. Only 20 career receptions, 267 receiving yards, and 2 receiving touchdowns in Baltimore. But it hasn't been for a lack of effort or skill. We know that. It's been because of the organization that he was drafted to. And when Isaiah Likely's healthy, I'm putting this Ravens tight end group up against anybody league-wide. But why don't we just go do this quickly and revisit his college statistics from Iowa? Because remember, he hasn't always just been labeled as a blocking tight end, a role player tight end, a dirty work tight end. Let's go take a look at the numbers that he put up at Iowa. First of all, great catch here and a great freeze frame by Ravens Productions. Take a look, though. I'll screen share it for you. Here are his statistics over 4 years at Iowa State, where he played Cyclones football. Senior year, 756 receiving yards, 62 receptions, played in 12 games, 6 touchdowns, 12.2 yards per reception. Junior year, 591 yards. That's good for 13.4 yards per reception. He had 44 of those and 7 touchdowns. Sophomore season, very productive as well. 697 yards receiving, 51 receptions. That was good for 13.7 yards per reception and 7 touchdowns. And you see what he did his rookie year. That's a hell of a 4-year career at Iowa State. Over 2,000 receiving yards. He averaged 13 flat in terms of yards per reception. Hauled in 23 touchdowns. 168 career receptions. Quite a career from Charlie. So let's put some respect on his name and not just forget what he was prior to coming to the National Football League and what he could be or could have been by now had he been drafted to a different organization. The Ravens have an embarrassment of riches, and they've been able to show that off for years now since Lamar arrived in town, and really prior to that as well. So I got to salute to Charlie Kolar for the professionalism, the patience, and now the timeliness. His number is going to be called. And I suspect that he's going to be answering that call. Very thrilled for Charlie. Sea King, King of the Seas, is in the house. What's going on, Sea King? Nighty Night Nate. That's classic. Nighty Night Nate. Handing out 3-piece Popeyes combos with no drink, extra biscuits, uppercuts, spinning fists, drop kicks. Been looking for footage. Aren't we all? Where the hell is a bird's eye view camera at One Winning Drive when we need it? Hilarious description, Sea King. Hilarious. There's been a lot of hilariousness, or I should say his hysteria or hysterical content going on in the Discord group since this has gone down. Click on the link that's included in a pinned comment right now in the live chat to join the Bobby Baltimore Discord server. It is free to do so, and we chat a little bit of everything, including Bobby After Dark. It's a brand new playlist within the Discord group. I just dropped the link in there. Let's continue. This is a good sign of things that continue to materialize and develop. And Jamison Hensley notes that Tyler Loop went perfect 7 for 7. He hit from 28, 33, 38, 41, 44, and 55. There you have it. Tyler Loop, number 33, Justin Tucker's successor. And now you're shooing to be the starter And the main man on the 53-man roster, now that John Hoyland has been cut, the undrafted rookie out of Wyoming that they brought in, and Tyler's starting to find his form. Again, 7 for 7, 28, 33, 38, 41, 44, and 55. The pads have only been on for a week. He's had to make adjustments. He's had his ups and downs. He's been on a roller coaster, as most rookies will or would be. But it's a good upward, forward trend for number 33, Tyler Loop, who finds himself in a very, very important situation in Baltimore. Good stuff. Other notes from beat reporters that were on the scene, just to be thorough. This is the time of year, I should say, that we lean on them. Right? Again, A.D. Mitchell had himself a day. The Ravens struggled with A.D. Mitchell. Stephen Holder notes that he dominated today's joint practice. I already shared this one on how Nate Wiggins got burned on that deep ball by A.D. Sure looks like Anthony Richardson got a good chance to retain his job, even though Daniel Jones is in the building. They brought him in to compete with Anthony Richardson after a very up and down season in Indianapolis for AR-15. What else here? Thought I saw some good notes here from Nikhil Mehta. He writes for Russell Street Report. Noted that Dayton Wade continued his solid practice with a touchdown up the seam from Cooper Rush. That was in red zone 7-on-7 work. Anthony Miller hauled in a one-handed back shoulder catch. Dayton Wade, again, continues to impress with a slick stutter and go for a long touchdown. I like that description there from Nikhil. Zay Flowers turned around Trey Herndon on a dig. What else is going on here? DeVoris Buckner, big-time player, perennial Pro Bowl player for Indy. Cooked Ben Cleveland on a pass rush rep. Oh, boy. Josh Downs was getting open all over the field against the Ravens secondary. He had a number of catches in 7-on-7 work. The Ravens D-line had a strong red zone period against the Colts offense. Travis Jones, John Jenkins, Broderick Washington were all immovable in the middle. And Odafe Owe and David Ajabo came off the edge for a few stops. I just realized that my screen share never came over, so sorry about that. I should give Nikhil some love here. It was still on James Boyd's screen. So go hit up Nikhil Knows Ball, writer for Russell Street Report. I'm leaning on some of his notes, as you can see right here. Mike Green and William Kwenku finished the day for sacks. Both of them flashed, according to Nikhil and other beat reporters on the scene. And we've already talked about Nate Wiggins ad nauseum at this point. Malachi Starks and Keon Martin were blocking Goodson, the Colts gunner, on a punt rep. That's what John Harbaugh. Remember what John Harbaugh said? It always happens at the end of a gunner rep, a punt rep. There was a little bit of shoving after the play. Starks seemed to be walking off when Wiggins came crashing in, throwing hands, got buried at the bottom of the pile, and had to be pulled out. Good Lord. Good Lord. Yes, John Harbaugh referred to it as a learning experience. Good there. Good stuff there from the beat reporter community. The Minnesota Vikings are on the Ravens schedule this upcoming season. It's a road trip the second half of the year in Minnesota. Now, while Jordan Addison, their talented wide receiver, will be available by then, here's how his year is beginning. He's been suspended for the first 3 weeks of this upcoming regular season for violating the league's substances of abuse policy. He's going to miss Chicago, Atlanta, and Cincinnati. So that, regarding Jordan Addison, just wanted to kind of keep you up to speed, being that they are an opponent, the Vikings are, of the Ravens during their 2025 regular season. Another opponent, twice, of course, will be the Cleveland Browns. And they have 6 quarterbacks currently under contract, and Shedeur Sanders, their day 3 pick out of Colorado, that was the talk of the draft weekend, is now in line to start. Dylan Gabriel, Kenny Pickett, both dealing with hamstring setbacks. Joe Flacco, the projected starter, to line up week 1 under center. Shedeur Sanders gets the call, according to Mary Kay Cabot, to start the preseason opener against the Carolina Panthers. He's also expected to get first-team reps in their joint practice on Wednesday. So let the plot thicken. One of the biggest stories, Shedeur Sanders is going to get his opportunity to prove a lot of people right that are advocating for him hard in the digital space. So there you have it. Shedeur under center, week 1, preseason week 1, I should say, against the Panthers. Going to have an opportunity to make his case. And speaking of Cleveland, here's the rest of that quarterback room. Technically, Deshaun Watson is still under contract, even though he may very well have played his last snap as a Brown. He certainly hasn't finished getting his last dollar from Cleveland, having every single one of those guaranteed several years ago. Joe Flacco's under contract. He's expected to start. Dillon Gabriel, like I mentioned, and Kenny Pickett are both dealing with hamstring setbacks. Dillon Gabriel was their rookie. Kenny Pickett was brought in from Philadelphia. Shedeur, of course, a fellow rookie. And Tyler Huntley, Mr. Snoop, was just signed. So maybe he gets some run during preseason week number 1 against Carolina. Or maybe Shedeur gets the full game. I doubt it. I'd be surprised. In other words, it's a clusterfuck in Cleveland. Stop me if you've heard that one before. I don't envy that situation or the fandom that's required, the diehard fandom, I should say, that's required over there. Good luck. Guys, we are 2 hours and 15 minutes away from debuting a brand new show. It is called Ravens Collective with Jeff Zaribek, Cole Jackson, and myself. I'm thrilled to be a part of it. I have tremendous amounts of respect for both men. And here's what you have going on. Episode 1 starts tonight. It's live every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, it's on YouTube. It'll also be repurposed to live in the audio-only space on Apple, Spotify, Google Play, and more. If you'd like to subscribe and help us get to 1,000 subscriptions, please do so, which is free, by clicking on the link that I just dropped into the chat. You can also search it by looking up Ravens Collective. Really looking forward to this opportunity. Really looking forward to continuing to diversify my portfolio and looking forward to giving you guys more content in this space. C King says Nate shouldn't have been pulled from the field after the melee. Hood Harbaugh ain't living up to his nickname. Hood Harbaugh. That is hysterical. C King is on one today. And if you're just tuning in, this is how John addressed Fight Night.
Before, it's like we want to play it like it's a game. So here's an opportunity to handle those situations like you're going to handle them in a game. And we did 99% of the time, but we didn't on that play. And it's like Shane and I were talking afterwards, and also Chris Ballard, we were both talking. It's always special teams. It always happens in these practices on special teams. And usually it's the gunners. The gunner vice drill, you can pretty much chalk it up and predict it that it's going to happen because it's one of those full field, really competitive drills. And, it happened. But it should be a learning experience opportunity for our team too. You don't have to throw a punch to get thrown in that game. You go back at them, they may throw you out, and the officials threw both those guys out. So that's an opportunity for us to learn from.
Certainly a learning experience, but certainly not unfamiliar territory for joint practice and the first time that you're essentially putting your hands on somebody who doesn't suit up on your sideline on Sundays, Mondays, and Thursdays come September. With that, I'm going to jump. I got to do a condensed version because I am doing 3 streams today between the vault, this. I don't want to neglect this channel. And I'll leave you with this. 3 streams today. The collective's coming up tonight at 8 o'clock. I really don't want to neglect this channel. There are so many hours in the day. So please bear with me this upcoming season. There is a lot on my plate. I'm very excited about what it is that I'm building, what it is that we're doing in the vault, the Bobby Baltimore space, over on the collective, which we're about to debut tonight. You can really help me out immensely by liking the video, subscribing, hitting that notification bell. Consider becoming a channel member or gift-giving membership here inside this channel. And most importantly, for the time being, showing up tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern to support us on this new venture at the collective, the Ravens Collective. You can go search it on YouTube. We've all tweeted it out. We've all shared it across all of our platforms. And I hope you'll join us in 2 hours and 11 minutes from right now. Jeff Zaribek is our mouthpiece, is our boots on the ground type of player for us, type of source, I should say, being that he has direct access to the team. He was out there. He had a great vantage point of Nate Wiggins getting after it today, and I look forward to picking his brain, getting into some film work with Cole, and just really getting after it. Tuesdays are going to be a grind, so I appreciate you in advance. If you could help me out, go support the channel. Go support Preston Automotive Group. Scan that QR code in the upper right-hand corner. Click on the link that's included in the show notes. That's also a pinned comment. Peruse through the site. They track who clicks it, so it really helps me out and continues what we're doing here. So thank you so much. I'll catch up with you in a little over 2 hours from right now over at The Collective. Again, if you're just tuning in and you want to subscribe to that to help us get to 1,000, let's just get a quick update on where we are with that count, because again, the closer, the quicker, I should say, we get to 1,000, the quicker we're going to monetize this thing. So it makes sense for all of us to give you our undivided attention, or really just to give you our all, which we plan on doing. 592. Okay. So 608 out, or 608. Do math, Bobby. You can do it. I promise you can. 408 out from 1,000. Let's help us get there. Appreciate you all for the continued support. I'm just dropping that link into the chat right now, and I'll catch up with you guys tonight. So for Preston Automotive Group, I'm Bobby Trosset signing off. Appreciate you guys for hanging. I'll catch up with you later tonight. Off we go. It's a Tuesday grind.